What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure preview video. Today, guys, we are back on Sideshow Collectibles website where we're taking a look at a new figure that Hot Toys has decided to release. We're taking a look at Chewbacca with the disassembled C-3PO from the movie Star Wars Empire Strikes Back Episode 2. So this figure, episode 5, my apologies, episode 5. This was the second movie release for the original trilogy back in the 70s, 80s. So my apologies, episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and we're getting Chewbacca and the disassembled C-3PO that comes along with Chewbacca. So first and foremost, this was not a shocking announcement. I believe that from we had already gotten some preview images of this figure set by Hot Toys on that Comic-Con that they had in Hong Kong whenever the San Diego Comic-Con was going on. So they Hot Toys had its own Comic-Con over there in Hong Kong, and basically they had already released images of Chewbacca and the disassembled C-3PO. So again, it was just a matter of time, for us to go ahead and get the chance to pre-order the figure. So speaking of pre-ordering, he pretty much is available to pre-order right now on Sideshow Collectibles, and I will make sure to include the link as always to them, so that way if you guys want to go ahead and join the not join the waitlist, but actually purchase the guy, he is again up for pre-order, and he is expected by mid 2025 to the end of 2025, although knowing Hot Toys, most likely it'll be early 2026. So let's take a look at the figure itself. So for me, this is a very exciting release. Being the big Star Wars fan that I am, I always like to have unique figures in my collection, and no question this would be my first ever Chewbacca and also C-3PO, even though it's not the full C-3PO. Eventually in the future I do want to get other C-3PO figures, but for now this would be, I would say, a good start. And again, Chewbacca itself, so for sure my first ever Chewbacca, and I am very excited to go ahead and get him. Again, a very unique figure in my personal opinion, and one of my favorite characters of the whole Star Wars saga. So the first thing that I do notice with the figure itself, so the likeness to Chewbacca in Empire Strikes Back is very, very nicely done. It looks almost exactly as the character in the movie. I am very excited to see how all of this fabric hair is going to look on the figure. So this is not any type of plastic, sculpted piece of work on the figure. This is actual fabric hair. And if you guys don't mind, in the comments, let me know if this is the first time that Hot Toys attempts this with Chewbacca. Again, since I don't have previous Chewbacca figures, I really wouldn't know, but just know that they are trying to go with the full actual fabric here. So very interested to see how that's gonna look once we actually get the full figure released. But for now, I would say that the images that they have provided look amazing in my personal opinion. All the fur hair looks great, and then technically we can call this an artisan edition type of release for Chewbacca. He's pretty tall as well. I can't wait to make comparisons with characters like Vader, just to see how tall they are in comparison. So again, this is wool hair, rooted hair. So interested to see again the comparison between the promo pics compared to the actual release. That is something that we definitely have to look forward to once we get the figure. So taking a look at more images. So again, the figure comes with the disassembled C-3PO from that scene in The Empire Strikes Back, and pretty much the things that I have to kind of mention. So again, we talk about the rooted hair. He does a couple of accessories. He has kind of like this bow type of weapon, right, that he uses, along with a blaster as well, which is displayed right here. No issues with that whatsoever, as you guys can see from the face sculpt. So he does have rotating eyes, and I am really interested to see how that's gonna work. I would assume that the head sculpt comes separately compared to the whole body, and we're gonna pretty much be able to disinstall it from the head sculpt, or there could be a possibility that half the head sculpt is kind of split up from the back. We'll see once we get the figure. And then also the mouth is pretty much articulated, which I think is an absolutely great idea by Hot Toys, because in this case we get to avoid different head sculpts. Instead, we just get one, but with articulated pieces, in this case the mouth, so we can post it in different ways. So to me, that's a great idea in my personal opinion. The display base is pretty much a round kind of circular display base with the nameplate Chewbacca. I actually have a small issue with this display base. In my personal opinion, it's too small for the character, knowing how tall and big Chewbacca is. I thought that they could have possibly gone with a bigger display base, maybe the rectangular one that we usually get from Hot Toys for Star Wars figures. So that's just my personal opinion. Is it an issue where it ruins the figure for me? Absolutely not. Just something that I wanted to kind of point out, and something that I wish they would have done differently for this figure specifically. Taking a look at more images. So again, here comes the weaponry that he has. He does have pretty much this belt or kind of backpack that goes around the figure. Again, just to clarify, this is a Chewbacca release. I would say that the C-3PO set is more like a big accessory, added onto the figure, but this is more Chewbacca being released. He does also have this bag going around it, as I mentioned before. The feet look really big, and again, the fabric here looks very nicely done on these promo pics. But as I mentioned before, we'll see how it looks once we get the figure. Here he has an image with Leia, which hopefully we get a Leia soon. Leia is another character that I unfortunately don't have in my collection, so hopefully I get to add her one day. And as I always like to say, I really don't recommend for you guys to purchase old figures, because eventually Hot Toys releases a newer version for a specific figure, in this case Chewbacca, maybe in the future Leia. So to me, I prefer just to wait until we actually get a new release for a specific figure, instead of having to buy an old one. But again, to me, each person makes their own decision, and I completely understand if you guys want to buy older figures. But hopefully they do a new Leia just to add her on the collection. So pretty much that's kind of everything that I have to cover about the figure. Again, he does have this kind of bag in the on his back that pretty much that's where C-3PO goes. So again, I can't wait to go ahead and try that on to see how the whole set of C-3PO goes into that bag. I feel like it's going to be a struggle, but we'll see once we actually get the figure. But just kind of initial thoughts on the figure. Very excited to get him. A lot of great things to look forward to. Very intrigued to see how that rooted hair is going to work again, but for both the face sculpt and the actual body. Once again, the promo pics look great, but we have to wait until we get the final result next year to see how it actually turns out, right? But again, he is pretty much available for pre-order, so if you guys are interested in purchasing him, go ahead and access the link to Sideshow Collectibles that I will include on the description of the video if you guys do want to go ahead and purchase him. I guess final thoughts, and here we have the rolling eyeballs and the articulated jaw, as I mentioned before, and then that rooted hair that looks pretty nicely so far with the promo pics. Additional accessories, so again, C-3PO, the disassembled with chrome application, looks nice. I love the paint application, so we get some burnt parts, and to me the detailing, it looks great. I really can't get that too close of a look. We would have to wait until we actually get the figure, but so far this looks great as well. I love how dirty the figure looks, and how like the cables are pretty much kind of coming out of the actual chrome part. So to me that looks great. And again, that net that goes on the back of Chewbacca where the figure is gonna go installed. So pretty much just the last image, and again, I feel like I pretty much have covered everything. Again, he does have different array of hands. He does have also handcuffs, which I'm glad that it includes. That bag that I mentioned before, the net where C-3PO will go, the bow weaponry, and also the blaster, the circular display base with a crotch grabber, the C-3PO, the rolling eyeballs, and articulated jaw. And as I mentioned before, pretty much the whole suit is made out of fabric hair, as well as the head sculpt with rooted hair. So we'll see how that turns out once we get the figure. So pretty much this would be it for this preview video of Chewbacca with the disassembled C-3PO. Again, if you guys are interested in purchasing him, I will include the link to Sideshow Collectibles. And as always, want to thank you for supporting the channel. If it is the first time you're watching me, just know that I do figure previews for new Hot Toys figures that are being released, as well as unboxing and reviews once I do get those figures in hand. So make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell so that you're always updated anytime that I do drop a video. Also, a reminder that I am on Instagram and TikTok. The links to that are on the description of the video. Feel free to follow me there so that way you guys are updated as well with anything that I have coming up with my channel. A reminder that, guys, that I am pretty close to the 1,000 subscriber mark. Thank you guys for supporting so much, and just know that a giveaway is coming soon once I get those to those 1,000 subscribers. So please stay tuned in, and again, of course, make sure to subscribe so that way you do qualify for that giveaway. So for now, guys, this is going to be it for this Chewbacca with the disassembled C-3PO figure preview. Thank you again for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.